Tonight from PNC Park, it's game 2 of the 3-game series between the first-place Pittsburgh Pirates and the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies beat the Buccos last night in the first game of this series, but the Pirates still lead the National League Central Division by a half game over the St. Louis Cardinals. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass. And tonight, Francisco Liriano goes, Steve, and he really has become kind of quietly the staff ace.
He's been sensational ever since he was activated by the Pirates. Just about every start, he has been outstanding. 3 quality pitches. And you see the breaking ball there. You're going to see another one for another strikeout. You want the fastball on the knees. You got that. Liriano has been remarkably consistent. He has indeed been the staff ace.
He is 11-4 and 6-1 at home this season. And this is just part of the story. The Pirates, these are major league ranks, are barrel league ranks.
That's incredible. Every category, even shutouts, tied for first in the major leagues with 14. It just doesn't get any better than that. There's nothing higher than first place. And that's why the Pirates are where they are.
In first place in the National League Central Division. Need a win tonight. It is a fireworks night. There will be another sellout crowd. See if the Bucco Bats can come alive. Maybe some fireworks during the game as the Pirates take on the Colorado Rockies in game 2 of the 3-game series. Our first pitch is coming up next.
Places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. And by PNC for the achiever in you. Let's go Bucks.
Back packed PNC Park here. And a lot of folks bringing some great signs too, by the way, this season.
Yeah.
That one kind of says it all. So many people. More excitement in Pittsburgh for game 2 of this 3-game series. And there you see the Pirates half game up on the St. Louis Cardinals, who scored 13 runs again. Back-to-back games. The one against the Pirates on Thursday and last night against the Reds. The Reds 5.5 back. Those two clubs are playing tonight in Cincinnati.
Greg, one of the great signs that we saw earlier, it's on the rotunda. It shows an animated pirate, young pirate, small pirate saying, "Who's laughing now?"
Folks coming across the Clemente Bridge. And this is the one that Steve was talking about.
I like that. Who's laughing now? A lot of creative signage.
A great sign. And there's Francisco Liriano.
Speaking of great.
Yeah, been outstanding. And speaking of great, Steve, congratulations. Junior Achievement Award just moments ago.
Thank you. It's a great organization, helping young people get acclimated financially and in the economy and all that. Yeah, they've been around a long time. They're international. They're all over the place, and they do a great job with the children. They do.
Steve honored before the game, and there you see a little ritual there. Josh Harrison and Andrew McCutcheon. Wandy's going to go judge it. Wandy says he feels much better. He could actually start throwing off a mound maybe the end of next week, which would be great.
I hope they're just as happy in a couple hours.
Yeah. Nice little sign there. Vin Mazzaro, Vinny's Vultures. Francisco Liriano will be taking the mound here. He is 11-4, tied for 5th in terms of wins in the National League. He would be 2nd in earned run average, behind only Clayton Kershaw if he qualified. He doesn't qualify just yet in terms of innings. He will. Still a very impressive 216 earned run average, 11-4, 6-1 in 7 home starts, an ERA of 161. His first 7 starts at PNC Park. Lineup for the Rockies under Walt Weiss. They are 52-59 on the year. Dexter Fowler, switch hitting center fielder, hitting .327 against left-handed pitching this season. DJ LeMahieu will bat 2nd. Then it's Troy Tulowitzki. Michael Kadire is back. Missed a couple of games attending to a family emergency, and he is 3rd in the league in hitting. William Rosario hits 5th. Nolan Arenado will be followed by Charlie Culberson, and then Charlie Blackmon, Jorge De La Rosa. This is a first, I think, back-to-back Charlies in any lineup.
Absolutely, yep. And see the USA in your Chevrolet. Chevrolet bringing you the numbers on Francisco Liriano. And, one of the things that you got to remember, too, 15 starts, he's gotten a decision in every one of them. So not only is he winning, but he's hanging around a long time. And you always love to see that. In fact, his last 2 starts, 7 innings and then 7 2/3 innings. And in those 2 starts, a couple wins for Francisco over Washington and St. Louis, giving up a total of 1 run. That's singular, 1 run in his last 2 starts. That's airtight.
Pretty airtight defense much of this season. That outfield of Marte, McCutcheon, Tabata left to right. Josh Harrison will give Pedro Alvarez the night off, with Jordy Mercer at short, Neil Walker at 2nd, Gabby Sanchez at 1st, and Tony Sanchez gives Russell Martin tonight off. That was planned the other day. And talking to Clint Hurdle, he said, "Good chance I'll rest Russell Martin on Saturday, let him catch Sunday with A.J. Burnett pitching, and Jose Tabata in right against the lefty De La Rosa."
Yeah, they've got 2 Charlies, but we got double Sanchez. I think we trumped him.
I think that's a good sign. Good point, actually. Dexter Fowler leads off. Fowler hitting .327, as you saw, against lefties. A better hitter from this side of the plate, .237 as a left-hand hitter. He's fouled out of play by Dexter Fowler. He was 0 for 4 last night, and he, like a handful of Rockies, and this has just been the way it is when you play at Coors Field, humidor or not, players that hit much better at home than they do on the road, and Fowler is one of them. This ball chopped toward Harrison. Easy play. It should be anyway. It is. Fowler hits .302 at Coors Field, .220 on the road. He's not the only one.
Does that mean the pitchers are all scared?
A little bit. What do you think?
A little bit. If I was having a pitcher get ready to pitch in Colorado, I would keep him in the clubhouse. I'd never let him watch batting practice. No, never.
Now DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu was 0 for 5 last night. A couple of strikeouts against Garrett Cole. And ball 1 to the former Cub farmhand, acquired before the 2012 season for Ian Stewart. And right there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Heard Clint Hurdle before the game talking once again about the difference this year for Francisco Liriano. He's just in a better place. So he can really command all three of those pitches that Steve talked about earlier. Change up the fastball, the slider.
There's an example of a low breaking ball that gets all the way to the catcher without being swung at by a batter. He's had so many swings and misses on that breaking ball downstairs. That's been a real positive for him.
Good finish, as Clint Hurdle said today, and is able to replicate that delivery. See a lot of real good hitters chasing that breaking ball. That's ripped into left.
That was upstairs. Breaking ball in that hitting zone, and it was hit.
Liriano gives up the 1-out single to left by LeMahieu.
Yeah, that's too good. Right down Broadway in that good hitting place. Speaking of being in a good place. You always like to find out about the umpiring crew, especially the man behind home plate, because it is his strike zone. It's Chris Guccione, Ron Culpa, the crew chief Tom Hallion is working second base, and Phil Cuzzy at third.
Now Tulowitzki, who homered his 20th of the year last night. 61 runs batted in. He takes the fastball low. He hit a 3-2 slider off of Garrett Cole last night over the left field wall. He also walked, reached on an infield single, that chopper off of Justin Wilson that brought in a run. LeMahieu at first with 1 out, and a big night here in Pittsburgh as this pitch misses away. 2-0 on Tulowitzki.
And Greg, you already get the indication the energy level here is going to be something else tonight, because they're already trying to get the chant, "Let's go Bucks." There's nothing happening, and you're starting to hear them get revved up, and the energy level, as opposed to the last 2 nights, is just really good early.
And that's not so good early. 3-0 on Tulowitzki. One of the other things that Hurdle has talked about before with Liriano, that Liriano has talked to Clint Hurdle about, is that he feels like he's a different pitcher now when he gets men on base. Before, he just used to try and blow people away, look for the strikeout. And here is ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Tulowitzki, putting 2 on with 1 away.
Yeah, what you have to do is maybe slow things down instead of amp yourself up. You don't want to get ahead of yourself, and when you get in a jam, just back off and take a breath, collect yourself, rather than you don't want to try to muscle your way through a jam. It's just not the right direction to go in.
Now he will face his former teammate in Minnesota, Michael Kadire. Kadire is in second year with the Colorado Rockies, signed a 3-year deal before last season and was away for a couple of days, a family emergency. Kadire third in the league in hitting. The ball gets away from Sanchez, doesn't know where it is. Runners will move up easily on the wild pitch. That was a problem last night for Pirates pitchers and Russell Martin. The wild pitch came into play.
Liriano works a lot downstairs. And the spin just takes it away from Tony, and then he can't find it. Everybody moves up 90 feet. So the plot thickens here in the top of the first inning. A quick out, base hit, walk, wild pitch, deep soup.
Infield back. There were 4 wild pitches uncorked by Pirate hurlers last night. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kadire. And Tony Sanchez, the rookie. Russell Martin will catch tomorrow for A.J. Burnett.
It's a big deal for the Rockies to have Kadire back in there.
1-1. And now 1-2. And Michael Kadire.
And Liriano averaging over a strikeout per inning, and that's exactly what he's thinking about here. He's got an open base, so he can fool around a little bit with Kadire, try to get him to chase. But again, many times when he tries to get somebody to chase, it's downstairs. So alert once again for Tony Sanchez.
Pulls this one foul. As LeMahieu skips out of the way. Stays a ball and 2 strikes on Michael Kadire. Second time he went to the All-Star game in his career, and of course he participated in the home run derby. Finished third with 15 homers. His buddy David Wright asked him to go. They were high school buddies in Virginia.
Let's see if they go upstairs. They've been working down.
And he offers big K for Liriano.
Exactly what he was thinking about, and had the opportunity because he was ahead 1-2 to get him to fish and swing it his kind of pitch, and that's exactly what happened. They wanted outside, and you see a good movement outside on that fastball, tailing away from the right-hand batter. Okay, all right, change up. Well, whatever it was moving away.
Good work from Liriano to get Kadire to offer. So second and third, 2 outs, and Willeen Rosario.
Now a chance to get out of this mess.
Rosario 1 for 4 last night. And 0-1.
One of the great things, and he got me on that one, Liriano, is that he doesn't give his changeup away. It's kind of the same set of body mechanics and release he has on the fastball. So I would have missed too, as I did. Really good movement moving away from Kadire.
There's a big strikeout of his former teammate, and now Rosario, the catcher. 0-2.
There's what we've been used to seeing. Swinging over top of something down under the strike zone. You see the kind of cut release as he cuts across the ball to get that slider effect. So he's gone upstairs and downstairs working Rosario, and that's a good place to be. 0-2, and now is the batter looking up or down?
He got a piece of it downstairs. Just got a piece of it. It's 0-2. The count remains.
And Liriano does certainly have enough speed on the fastball to go upstairs every once in a while. 93, 94 on occasion. And he's in the perfect spot once again, as he was with Kadire, way out in front. Try to get him to chase something outside the strike zone. Up on top of it, out away from it, or down underneath it.
Rosario has struck out 85 times. That's second on the club. Chopper. Here comes Harrison on to first, and they got him. And Liriano gets out of the first inning jam with a strikeout and a bouncer to third. And now lefty Jorge De La Rosa will take them out against the Bucks. Brought to you by Toyota. It'll be Marte, a 6-game hitting streak. Jordy Mercer, Andrew McCutchen, Naby Sanchez, Tony Sanchez, Jose Talbot in the middle. Then Neil Walker, last 7 games hitting .333. We'll see how he fares against against the lefty De La Rosa tonight than it's Josh Harrison and Francisco Liriano.
De La Rosa 10-5, 3.21 ERA. Those are exceptional numbers for anytime you look at a pitcher for the Colorado Rockies. This guy had 9 wins before the All-Star break. He's 3-2 against the Bucks. He got knocked around a little bit in that Atlanta series like all the Colorado pitchers, but before that, prior to that outing against the Braves, previous 7 starts, 9 runs given up.
Defense behind De La Rosa. He's got Culberson, Fowler, and Blackman in the outfield. Arenado and Tulowitzki on the left side of the infield. DJ LeMahieu, Michael Kadire on the right side, and Pauline Rosario, the catcher. Troy Tulowitzki, one of the best, 2-time Gold Glover.
All bandaged up. That's what we need to do tonight. We haven't seen Roger the last couple nights.
Taking all the way, you can see that was Marte's intent. 1 for 4 last night, and second in the league in hitting against lefties at 387.
Right there.
Out in front is De La Rosa, 0-2, the veteran from Monterrey, Mexico.
He's been all over the place, hasn't he, in terms of organizations.
Was he ever?
6'1", 220 out of Monterey.
In his 6th year with the Colorado Rockies. And chopper toward third, hugging the line. It's a foul ball.
How about this resume? Signed by Arizona, then some time with Monterey, in his hometown, by the way. Boston, Arizona again, Milwaukee, Kansas City, and then Colorado.
Red Sox purchased De La Rosa from that Monterey club before the 0-1 season. In November of 03, they dealt him along with Casey Fossum and Brandon Lyon, another player, to the Diamondbacks for Curt Schilling. D-backs then traded to him at the big trade you might remember years ago involving Lyle Overbay, Archie Sexton to the Milwaukee Brewers. Sexton went to the D-backs. 1-2 the count now. De La Rosa made his big league debut in 2004 against the Brewers, or rather for the Brewers, 2004. One ball, 2 strikes the count. Marte, Mercer, McCutchen. Another foul. He's got it all.
Yeah. He's ready to go. That's getting it all together.
He's got the big hand and the big bird right there, right?
Good looking
Not
cap.
letting go.
Yep. You can watch some ball tonight. Watch some baseball.
Still 1-2. Marte. Infield single in the 3rd inning last night and scored a game-tying run on a base hit by Andrew McCutchen.
This is not an old video. This is every night in Pittsburgh. Every night. Good stuff.
2-2. Early on, an extended at bat from Marte. He's forcing De La Rosa to throw at least 8 pitches to him. De La Rosa with 86 strikeouts, 44 walks in 126 innings.
He will not overpower you. He's not a power guy by any stretch of the imagination.
And the Pirates seem to, Steve, have some success against those guys. They have anyway this year, guys that don't overpower you. Another foul ball.
But he has found a way to win 10 games with a 3.21 ERA.
Got that slow delivery, that wind up. A 16-game winner in 2009 with the Rockies. That was his best season. Walt Weiss in his rookie season as skipper took over for Jim Tracy, former Pirates manager.
Walt Weiss, one of the good guys you'll ever run across in the game. There's a lot of them.
3-2. Good at bat here for Starling Marte.
That's what you want your leadoff man to do, isn't it, when you write up that job profile?
Fly ball to left. Does he have enough of it? Toward the wall. And a catch made by Culberson. That ball was in on Marte and did not get Steve. It didn't look like any with a good barrel on it.
Well, where would that have been in Denver? Section 12?
Yeah.
I thought he got enough of it. Kind of
Weigh in
lost
on him.
steam. Yep. Big left field here in Pittsburgh.
Checking out that bat. Jordy Mercer takes a strike. One ball, one strike on Mercer. Hitting .362 against left-handed pitching. Clint Barmas has gotten the majority of the starts of the last couple of weeks. Well, Clint Hurdle looking for opportunities for Jordy Mercer in there. There's the former Rocky, Clint Barmas, and former Rocky skipper, Clint Hurdle. That ball lined toward left field, and that'll get down. And Mercer a one-out single.
We got to get the Rockies back to how they were feeling when they left Atlanta. When the Braves, I think, scored an average of 10 runs a game, 40 runs in 4 games against this Rockies pitching staff. Jordy does a good job of getting down and in, and just getting the arms out, keeping the hands back to keep that from really hooking foul.
Headed like McCutcheon. Good advice.
We're not only seeing a lot of good signs, but we're seeing a lot of custom-made T-shirts.
Yep. Ball one on McCutcheon. 2 hits last night.
You know, I talked to first base coach Rick Sofield. I said, that glare that we get sometimes off the buildings, I said, do you hear much of that, any problems with that with the players? He said, last night, Andrew mentioned it when he got down to first base, that it was a factor, but other than that, not too much. Maybe it's a different angle from down there.
And not tonight. That's not an issue. On occasion you'll see it glaring off those buildings across the river. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. And Andrew McCutcheon, .371 hitter against lefties. The dirt. Blocked there by Rosario. Steve said De La Rosa 3-2, 4.01 career ERA against the Bucks in 11 appearances, 7 of those starts. Pirates looking to get to De La Rosa early. 3-1.
Like you said, Greg, he's no kid around the big league scene. This will be his 8th major league season, in spite of all those travels with different organizations. He must be doing something right, including being born left-handed.
League leaders against left-handed pitching. Marte and McCutcheon 2-3 behind Chris Johnson. What a year he's having. Chris Johnson of the Atlanta Braves, the batting leader in the National League. 3-2 on McCutcheon. Gabby Sanchez on deck.
Well, it's a close one in Cincinnati. The Cardinals have already scored just 1, so Reds are holding them down pretty well in the first inning.
And they're going on the 3-2 pitch, and it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. 20 pitches already, 3 batters into this game.
Get in the bullpen. Get in the bullpen.
Three and 2. And a walk. 2 aboard. De La Rosa loses McCutchen on the 3-2 pitch. And it brings up Gabby Sanchez.
And in case you're thinking along the lines of the long ball, and it's a nice thought, De La Rosa has only given up 7 in 22 starts, so he's done a good job considering the fact that he spends a good bit of his time pitching in Denver.
Sanchez, a pinch hitter last night in the bottom of the 9th inning with Pedro Alvarez at second and the Pirates down 4-2. He lined out to the right fielder against Brothers, the reliever. Rex Brothers got the save. Strike on Gabby Sanchez. Last 10 games, hitting at a 400 clip. And this season batting .333 against Southpaws. De La Rosa, his 23rd start this season. Missed most of last year coming back from Tommy John surgery.
You almost get the idea, Greg, watching De La Rosa, that he reminds you maybe a little bit in approach and style and the way he goes about his business of a left-handed Chassin. Not big strikeout guys, but they both have had good years, or good 2/3 of a year, by not dazzling you with speed, by doing some pitching, especially when they work in Colorado.
Check swing rolled foul. The splits for De La Rosa. You can understand why you would want to stack the deck with the right-handed hitters against him.
Yeah, but those are not dazzling numbers. I mean, they're better numbers, obviously, than the lefties have. Jim Wright with Walt.
Jim Wright, the pitching coach of the Rockies. 1-2 the count. Bounce foul the other way. De La Rosa coming off a so-so start at best against Atlanta. He gave up 8 runs, 5 earned in 5 innings.
But boy, those starts before that was chronicling the fact that the previous 7 starts, only a total of 9 runs. 7 starts and a total of 9 runs. You're going to win a lot of those games.
Not necessarily a guy that goes deep into games, De La Rosa.
Heading in that direction tonight.
Did he go?
Yes,
he did. A big strikeout. Gabby Sanchez offered.
He was able to amp that fastball up to 93 miles an hour. So maybe we'll back off the idea that he's completely soft stuff.
Home plate umpire Chris Guccione said he offered at it, and now with 2 down, De La Rosa will face the rookie Tony Sanchez.
Big strikeout like Nelson had on Kadire in a situation where he needed to get a strikeout.
Francisco Liriano striking out Kadire in the first.
Not as dramatic as Francisco's. Is that slow delivery? These kind of guys can kind of lull you to sleep a little bit, and then all of a sudden, bang, it's 93 miles an hour, and you flinch, and you're done. Like that. And tough call on that high fastball, but we'll have a chance to see how Chris Guccione did. He did okay. But there's the example of the slow, low curveball and then the high fastball. Separation of speed and location. Pretty good combination.
2 strikes. Tony Sanchez, 14 major league at bats. 3 out of 14 now. Hit .288 at AAA Indy with 10 homers and 42 RBIs. De La Rosa gave up a 1-out hit to Mercer. He walked McCutchen. Strikes out Gabby Sanchez, and now out in front of Tony Sanchez, 1-2. Did he go?
I think he did.
Appeal?
No.
Oh.
I'm glad he didn't. I thought they might ring him up there, and the Pirates keep the inning alive.
Guccione appealed to Ron Kolpa, who said no swing. 2-2. Jordy Mercer still at second, but now with 2 outs. McCutchen at first.
I think the Pirates might have got away with one there.
And that just missed. De La Rosa thought he had him. 3-2. Fastball.
Yep. De La Rosa thought he had it. His tentative steps off the mound.
Looked like he might have gotten the corner there. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out looking.
Finally got him.
Couple of strikeouts to end the first inning threat. Now that first call, La Rosa did not get to get it to 3-2. This one, he got.
Oh yeah, a picture-perfect night in Pittsburgh as the Pirates and Rockies are scoreless as we move to the second inning. You know, as we said, Walt Weiss is in his first year as a manager at the big league level, but some of the skills needed to manage a club he probably learned from Clint Hurdle. You see, he was a special assistant under Hurdle between 2002 and 2008. In fact, Clint said earlier today, quote, "I never realized he wanted the manager's job because he turned down every other coaching job I offered him." That's right, he turned down the first, third hitting and bench coaching positions. But Clint was quick to point out, guys, that he did not offer him the pitching or bullpen jobs, but did say he does have the fabric needed to be a manager of the big leagues.
And Dan talking to Clint Hurdle last year, asking Clint if he had picked one guy that would stand out in terms of close relationship in baseballs. That's an easy play. 6'3", retiring Arenado. He said Walt Weiss, who at the time was coaching a high school baseball team, but very much involved in his family, his kids, and did not want to get involved in the big leagues. I'm sure that he made overtures, Hurdle, toward Weiss about coming to Pittsburgh, but didn't want to leave his family there, and ends up getting an opportunity to be interviewed for this job over the winter when Jim Tracy resigned, and the former Rocky Walt Weiss becomes the skipper.
Yeah, the other job that Clint didn't offer him was the manager job.
Yeah.
But I had a chance to stop in and see Walt, and he has 2 of his sons here, Brock and Bo. He also has Blake and Brody, 4 sons.
Ball hit. Toward right center, the catch made in center field. Well done by McCutcheon.
That ball had a lot of carry to it.
It's a great family story. Years ago when Weiss went back to Denver as an all-star in 1998, then with Atlanta. His son Brody, just a couple of weeks before that, had picked up a strain of E. coli bacteria. That was a national story during that all-star game that summer. And Brody was touch and go for a while. His kidneys shut down. He was on dialysis and appeared headed for a coma, and made a great recovery. Ended up being at that all-star game. And remember the national folks talking about what a great story. And Steve, you talk about what a great guy Walt Weiss is. The people in Denver rallied around him big time. The former Rockies, he went back as an all-star, now as a member of the Atlanta Braves in Denver. And then owner Jerry McMorris offered the Weiss family his private jet because they were concerned about young Brody being on a commercial flight. And it's great that 2 of his kids are here. Great family guy.
He's one of the good ones.
Yep.
From all years back.
Former Oakland A's Rookie of the Year, Walt Weiss. 0-2. Seems like that's the way it is, isn't it, Steve? You no longer seem to have some kind of managerial experience in the big leagues or even in the minor leagues. Robin Ventura, the White Sox.
And you are still a product of your talent.
Yep.
No matter how much experience you have.
0-2 on Charlie Blackmon. Now the Rockies have they've been trying to figure out the right mix for years. What works in the Mile High City?
Used to be the Blake Street Bombers. They tried to get some pitching. Paid a lot of money to some pitchers, and it's just hard for pitchers to win in that ballpark.
One of those Blake Street Bombers is now on Weiss's staff as the hitting coach, Dante Bichette. In the dirt. 1-2 on Charlie Blackmon.
Dante, fresh out of the barber's chair.
Yeah. Was it Bichette and Andres Galarraga and Larry Walker, Ellis Burks, Vinny Castilla?
Bombs away. It was bombs away.
Yeah. Strikes away. A pitch away offered by Charlie Blackmon. 1-2-3. Go the Rockies. 0-0.
Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We're driven to be better. And by Levin Furniture and the all-new Levin Mattress Stores. For a great deal on a new bed, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
0-0, bottom of the second inning. PNC Park, Bucks Rockies, and Jolly Rogers everywhere. Tabata, Walker, Harrison against Jorge De La Rosa, who threw 32 pitches in that first inning. So if the Pirates can at least keep that up, strike is called on Tabata. Francisco Liriano, a 1-2-3 top half of the second.
Shouldn't we have something to show for that when he throws 32 pitches?
I think so. I think we should.
I mean, that's a wonderful number, but we'd love to back it up with some runs.
I guess a lot of people, like Clint Hurdle, kind of consider it at times a down payment on runs down the road if you don't get them now. Because at the very least, if you don't wear him down, you do get to the bullpen early. At least that's the idea. Tabata was 1 for 3 in the game on Thursday with a walk.
Boy, he's going upstairs with that high fastball. And again, this is a guy that doesn't give up all that many home runs, but living upstairs in that kind of dangerous zone. And with a lot of umpires, even though that might be where the regulations say it's supposed to be a strike, they won't call high strikes. There are some umpires that won't.
Chris Guccione tonight behind the plate. Get him started early. That's the idea.
There are kids saying about that.
Fair ball. Throw to first. Oh, man, what a play by Arenado. Even though it's an infield hit, he is a highlight show.
Wow.
Every night, it seems. That is unbelievable that he threw a strike to first base. Again, it's a hit on a ball that looked like it was foul.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's even better when you slow it down. How far he goes, and his whole body is heading towards section 121.
You know, I mean,
that is incredible. He comes that close to perhaps making the play of the year.
A slower, I mean, a real slow runner. He's out. That's just. Arenado has made some incredible plays. There's a bunt. Arenado tested again, and he makes that play. And the bunt by Walker. They'll give Walker the sacrifice. Take another look at the third baseman, Nolan Arenado. At another angle.
Coming at you. That is some kind of body control. That's as good as it gets. That is one fine major league play that will be remembered. It'll be remembered even though it didn't create an out. And that's the ones that are real good. And the bunt was good, but not compared to the previous play. I mean, not as good.
But it does have Tabata at second in scoring position for Harrison now. Harrison 5 for 9 his last 2 starts. He started at second base in game 2 of the doubleheader Tuesday. And July 25th in Washington, D.C. he started in right field. Oh, and 1. Steve, I guess you can understand Walker thinking of the bunt because of maybe his struggles against lefties. And yeah, you do move the runner up. I guess the downside is if Harrison doesn't get the job done, then the pitcher comes up. It really, again, it's a sacrifice, but Walker was trying to bunt for a hit.
Yeah. It's one of those plays where, okay, if he gets the bunt base hit, you know, it sets everything up. even though you're down at the bottom of the batting order.
Really, the onus now is on Josh Harrison with the pitcher on deck. 2-1. Looking for somebody to spark this offense. Is it Jay Hay? Fouled off.
Yeah, you look at that game last night, and the Pirates, the pitching wasn't all that bad, but when you compare it with the brilliant pitching that we see almost every night, okay, you say a little bit of a stumble by the pitching staff. Yeah, very little, 4 runs. And if you're going to win a lot of games, you've got to win some 7-4, 5-4, 6-4 ball games, and that's not a massive offensive outburst, but you've got to help your pitching out at some point.
Yep.
You've got 2 months of the season. It's hard to imagine them running the table for 6 months. So help them out.
Yeah, they've done it for 4, but that's going to whole heck, which is asking a lot. So now that the trade deadline has passed, it's basically within this group here or a player or two down in the minor leagues. Everybody talking about Andrew Lambeau. But you can't expect, even as well as he has performed at AAA Indy, you can't expect that he's going to come in here and carry an offense. You need the guys that are out there now to get the job done. Fastball fouled away, 2-2, and now Harrison makes De La Rosa work. The pitch count continues to creep up.
And you know, you take that down the line a little bit, say a Lambeau or any phenom that's tearing up in the minor leagues, you bring them up. Now you got guys that you have been hoping for to do the job sitting. That creates a little scenario. And you need to play.
Runner breaks for third, and it's popped up. And so Tabata's going to have to go back to second.
He had that one. I mean, you know, you want to get your cuts in, and you can't certainly take a strike in that situation. But he was on his way to third base with a huge jump. He's halfway there when the ball is released. It's one of those things.
As though Mayhew had gone over to cover second, expecting pickoff play. A mix-up in communication, perhaps. But now Liriano, who has 3 hits and 31 at-bats.
But this is usually not fair, trying to hit left-handed as a pitcher against a left-hand pitcher. That was the step and sweep school of hitting. I'm going to step away and see if I can leave the bat there in some hitting area.
The Reds have taken a 2-1 lead over the Cardinals, by the way, in the second inning, and Cincinnati will be keeping track of that game. Josh Harrison flies out to center field. Tabata still at second. And the big scoreboard. Clint Hurdle was asked about scoreboard watching. He said, not really, although I will admit at PNC Park, the scoreboard's right there. As we're looking at the pitcher, we can look over the shoulder of the pitcher and see those scores. And then there are some scoreboards where you can't see the scores at all, depending on where the dugout is located. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
A very secondary concern, though, at this point.
Another step and sweep. Now De La Rosa certainly has the big time upper hand here. Bounce to the right side. And that will do it. Leadoff infield hit. Pirates lead him. It's 0-0 through 2.
Sports is brought to you by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go, Bucks.
0-0, third inning this day in Pirates history, brought to you by Day Automotive. 1990. On this day, Doug Drabeck comes within 1 out of writing his name in the history books at the first 26 without allowing a hit. Then Sil Campusano breaks it up the no-hit bid, a single to right center. Campusano hitting 188 coming into the game. Drabeck would settle for an 11-0 one-hitter. Thanks to Day Automotive, we're going to make your day in Philadelphia.
I remember that, Greg, because I was down in back of the dugout, down on the runway, waiting to do the interview with Doug Drabeck in the tunnel. And I'll never forget that. Sil Campusano.
There's Mrs. Blass. She's here tonight taking this game in, huh?
Yeah, Karen's in the building.
She's probably on hand to
she's
watch the Junior Achievement
she
Award.
Just wants to make sure I have a job and I'm really working when I leave the house. I'm going somewhere legitimate.
I saw her look up here just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about a short leash. It's a collar.
Great to see Karen here. She has been to a lot of baseball games over the years. There's the Junior Achievement Award for Steve Blass.
Well, thank you. That's very nice. Dennis Guilfoyle, a very hard worker for Junior Achievement. Glad to be involved.
Good stuff. Oh, that got Tony Sanchez. Ouch.
And by the way, I will compliment my fellow broadcasters on a lot of projects they're all involved in. We're pretty well spread out and happily involved in a lot of these things.
Good stuff. And they're going to buy Tony Sanchez some time. Oh, and 2 the count. De La Rosa pops this ball up to left, but Marte was playing shallow, and he catches just about everything out there anyway.
You know, Greg, this maybe, hopefully this is one of those examples of a guy like Liriano who's really red hot now, pitching extremely well. They had a little chance at him in the first inning. They didn't cash it in, and now, okay, he's settled in, and boy, he's cruising right now. We've seen that kind of an approach and that kind of a result in a lot of instances with real good pitchers. Get them early or you don't get them.
He's a real good pitcher. And if he isn't the best free agent pickup this winter, Steve, I don't know who is. He's got, you would think, at this point, a good lead on comeback player of the year. He's tied for 5th in wins, even though he did not make his first start of the season until May the 11th.
And how about this? They wound up, because of that injury, restructuring a contract. So in terms of economics, somewhat of a bargain, would you say?
I asked Neil Huntington about that early on, and Frank Coonley got a lot of credit, rightfully so, for that as they reworked that contract with Liriano after he broke his non-throwing arm on Christmas Day, after they had verbally agreed to something. So they reworked it. Because according to Neil Huntington, he'll still get close to, that's what Neil said, that he'll still get close to what was originally talked about.
The incentives.
Yeah.
But knowing that he wasn't going to be pitching for a good bit of the early part of the season. And we really didn't know what we were getting.
Right.
Yeah, didn't, but boy, are we pleased.
And a walk to Fowler. And there's the second free pass. Parrot. During the commercial break, the Parrot was scaring Danny Potash. Oh my goodness.
Does he know who that was? Of course he knows. If he had done that to Bob Walk, you would see a Porsche going up 79 right now.
You know, Steve, he's your friend, man.
Speak for yourself, Dan.
You set him loose down here.
Hey, it's fishing season. He's licensed.
Why don't you throw me some things from the booth tomorrow, and I'll take care of this problem. Real fast.
I thought you remained quite calm in spite of what the green thing was doing to you.
Yeah, the green thing. That's good there. You know, I'm watching to make sure I don't get smoked by a line drive. I've got to make sure I tweet. I'm taking notes, and I got to worry about this guy. They don't pay me enough.
Just trying to do a professional job, and that's what you get.
Yeah, there's the mark of a true professional. Walking the dugout in a parrot costume. Okay. Like I said, he's your friend.
2-0 on LeMahieu. After a 1-out walk to Fowler. LeMahieu singled in the first. Two on in that first inning with 1 out before he struck out Kadire and got Rosario to ground out. And the runner breaks, and it's fouled back. Dexter Fowler with 15 stolen bases in 21 attempts. Two and one.
And these Colorado Rockies will run, and they'll be probably trying to run tomorrow against A.J. Burnett.
And now he falls behind LeMahieu, 3-1. See the reflection of the sun off the building that we talked about earlier starting to come into play now. And it's a walk to LeMahieu. 2 on in front of Troy Tulowitzki. Back-to-back walks. That is really flirting with danger.
Tulowitzki and then Kadire.
Tulowitzki walked in the first inning. So 3 free passes now for Francisco Liriano. Fowler at second, LeMahieu at first. Nothing ball game. Good look at that reflection of the buildings across the river. One on Tulowitzki. 61 runs batted in. Out in front 0-2. Right after he walks a couple. Jumps out in front of Tulo. 0-2. In terms of that ERA, talked about the fact that he's tied for 5th in wins in the National League. Jordan Zimmerman and Adam Wainwright of the Nationals and Cardinals respectively have 13 W's. Patrick Corbin of the Diamondbacks, Lance Lynn of the Cardinals with 12 wins each, and then Liriano and a couple other pitchers with 11. No throw. That winning percentage for Liriano is 5th best in the league, and the ERA of 2.16 coming in would be second behind Clayton Kershaw. He had enough innings, which he'll get 2 or 3 more starts to be able to qualify. 1-2 on Tulowitzki. 1 inning per your team's games for the pitchers. Pirates playing in their 110th game, and Liriano currently with 98 innings of work. Chopper, Harrison will throw on the first. 2 outs.
So again, Liriano gets a very important second out. And a bit of a jam here in the top of the third. Still work to be done. got the strikeout of Cuddyer with that fading changeup, first time up in a big spot.
I know you don't like this, Steve, but how closely do you pitch to Cuddyer with runners at second and third in a 0-0 game? I mean, you
carefully.
Yeah.
And then I don't care if I lose him. I don't.
I know you don't think about the intentional walk. You don't like that.
No, but there are sometimes you got to swallow hard and do it. You just got, okay, yeah, I don't want to, but it's the thing to do. And when it comes down to cases, Cuddyer is a lot more dangerous than Rosario. Although Rosario, 15 home runs, 52 RBIs. I mean, that's to be considered. But looks like he may be trying just to be very careful, and if he wants to help him out by swinging at a bad pitch. Let's see if he misses one more time, they'll finish it off.
In the dirt.
The block.
Now is this going to be the intentional pass?
Good technique there by Tony Sanchez.
We talked last night on the radio side about the fact that both Clint Hurdle and Jeff Bannister, who works with the catchers, they both say that Sanchez has as good at catching skills as anybody, and a strike is called. Cuddyer thought it was ball 4.
There's that fastball out away.
Maybe Sanchez might have bought that call. Bring that in a little bit. So they're talking about last night, the blocking skills, the receiving, the pitch calling. And another strike. And did Sanchez buy that one too? Watch Tony Sanchez. Maybe. 3-2 the count. Wouldn't this be huge, huh?
You don't have to give in. You got the open base. Make your kind of pitch.
Driven to center. And there's McCutchen. And Liriano gets him.
Part of being a big league pitcher, getting out of jams.
Health Network injury update. Yeah, we agree. Mascot Hall of Fame for that guy, for sure. Our Allegheny Health Network.
Roy O.
Yeah, Roy O was signed a couple months ago to a minor league contract. They were hoping that the veteran might be able to help them out, but he was shut down today after just 2 batters in a simulated game with a hamstring issue. So he's doesn't look all that promising for Roy Oswalt.
There was a time when Roy O was one of the best.
No question.
It was Oswalt and Jake Peavy. I put
Two of
them in
the
a
fine
similar
young
category.
pitchers in baseball many years ago. Now Starling Marte leads things off. Second time around against De La Rosa. And the bunt. Foul.
We've got to find some offense. I hate to keep saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it.
Yep. We will say we appreciated Andy Rostic, who contributed in our Root Sports Pirates Charities auction last month, and he bid on several items that Bob and I kind of put together on the spot. He came into the booth and met with us. Lee Hammer, he brought along his buddy Lee, and so Andy Rostic, thanks so much for your contributions. Had a chance to meet Steve and Bob, and
helped us do some housekeeping up in the booth.
Yeah. Ball to strike on Starling Marte. Rip to left.
You want offense, you got it. That's a start.
Say it again. 7-game winning streak.
What does it stand for?
7-game winning streak for Starling Marte.
What is it good for? Here's some offense is good. Eric Burden with some more.
And now with Jordy Mercer at the plate, he singled in the first inning. And attention to Marte. Throw nearly sailed over everybody's head. Dyer taking the throw. Marte with 31 steals and 41 tries.
Starling flinching a little bit. That throw was toward his head.
Diving back. No tag from Kadire. A lot of people have that. It's like an epidemic, isn't it?
Oh, the doctor got buck fever.
Runner goes. Boy, Marte didn't waste any time after a couple throws over. Now, Steve, is he just guessing there, or did he read that well?
Well, it was a decent break. I don't think he left particularly early. Guessing is part of the deal against a lefty.
Quicker. Just a quick pitch to Mercer. And it was a ball 1-1, so you wonder now if Marte, his presence at first base doesn't come into play. De La Rosa worried about him. And again, a quicker pitch. And again, it's low 2-1. Steve, to me, these are the sabermetrics numbers. Some of them don't like the stolen bases. I don't want, but what you can never get, and statistically, is what that does to the pitcher. You can't do it, right? You can't quantify it.
No, and now Marte really has his attention.
Tried to use that slide step to Jordy Mercer, and there were 2 balls out of the strike zone with the concern about Marte.
That's consciously having to change the way you would like to go from the stretch and not have to rush and get out of your comfort level, get out of your usual delivery.
It's 2-2.
It's people have no idea how tough it is to transfer your attention immediately from the runner to home plate. It is tough, and then not have a lingering thought in your subconscious about that guy at first. Transferring everything you have to offer back to home plate, and it's difficult. And, and little things now. He's ready to go. He just threw a good strike. Now the batter steps out. I mean, there's cat and mouse stuff going on here to get in somebody's head, distract him.
There he goes. Taken for a ball. The throw down. Not close. And he threw another ball, by the way. And now De La Rosa walking around as if he is really bothered by it. A steal for Marte, his 32nd.
And this is by a guy that's been around a while. A lot of that is speed.
Yeah, that's impressive for Marte. A lot of it is speed,
but a lot of it is convincing yourself that he's going to go to home plate. That guess factor.
3-2 on Jordy Mercer now.
Roll the dice.
And bounce toward short, and Marte read that well enough to know that he'd have time to move to third. And a little small ball.
And that ball really came up hard and high to Tulowitzki. He stayed with it. That ball had a little extra jump or spin after that second bounce. Like one of those old turf bounces off the artificial surface where the English on the ball would accelerate after that second bounce.
5 shy now of the National League stolen base leader, Everett Cabrera. Infield is in.
Early in the ball game, they don't want to give up a run.
They will give up a run, at least one, to the wall, and off the wall. Oh, it comes right back beautifully. So McCutchen will settle for an RBI double off the Clemente wall, and it's 1-0 Pirates.
And I thought that ball had enough carry. When it left the bat, I thought it had a chance high off the wall. And like you said, as perfect a bounce off those uneven surfaces out there as you could possibly imagine to Blackman. Big ride. Andrew, I think, thinks that he got enough of it when I left the bat.
How close? About 3/4 of the way up.
Yep.
A great bounce back to Blackman. I mean, anything but that, and it's a triple. '30th double of the season for McCutchen.
Pirates are on the board. Now let's hit for about 20 minutes. That would clear the air in this whole building.
McCutchen, RBI number 61. Well, Marte got it started. The base hit, stole second. And McCutchen brought him home with a double after the ground out. Gabby Sanchez struck out at a pitch he tried to hold up, but they said he went, and there goes McCutchen for third, and he'll go without a throw. Nobody paying any attention to McCutchen.
And a big deal with one out. Big deal.
McCutchen with his 22nd steal.
And that's paying attention when the guy forgets about you. And you can have a pitcher doing that, but if you're not alert, if you're not looking for that opportunity, it doesn't happen like that. So he was locked in on the pitcher. Saw that he was going to give him third base, and he took it.
Infield is in again. 0-2 on Gabby Sanchez. Shot. What a pick by Arenado. They get the out at the plate.
He has shown us 2 dazzling plays in this ball game. The pick and a quick, accurate, strong release to home plate. That is quite a play right there.
Once the pick is made, an easy out.
It got to him so fast. Good technique by Rosario. Nothing happened in the back of him.
Nolan Arenado. Pick on the ball hit by Gabby Sanchez. Tony Sanchez fouls it out of play.
And that ball was blistered too. That was a reaction play. The hot corner was hot right there. Arenado.
Now De La Rosa out in front of Sanchez 0-2, but was not happy with that last pitch that he threw to Tony Sanchez. It's 0-2. Gabby Sanchez, I can't hit a ball any harder than that. Almost got Tony Sanchez. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blocked there by Rosario.
I thought it did get a piece of him.
Francisco Liriano.
Look at the eyes, not giving in to anything, even when he's sitting there.
Means business.
That's a game face there.
Tony Sanchez down on strikes. Pirates get 1 through 3. Lead it 1-0. Pirates baseball, see how Russell Martin has helped push the Pirates over the top. Check out the pitch that has once again made Francisco Liriano a lights-out starter. And hear what's said between players while at first base. And much more inside Pirates baseball is presented by Allegheny Health Network tonight after Pirates postgame on Root Sports. And Francisco Liriano here in the 4th inning. Face catcher Julian Rosario. On a fireworks night, game 2 of 3 with the Rockies, and tomorrow afternoon the series will conclude. A.J. Burnett against Juan Nicasio, and then a much-needed off day for everybody before the Marlins come in. Jeff Locke, Charlie Morton pitching Tuesday and Wednesday night's games, and circle Thursday. Take off work Thursday afternoon, 12:35, the rematch. Garrett Cole against Jose Fernandez. Thursday afternoon at 12:35. Get your tickets. What a show they should put on. They put on quite a display in Miami, and Garrett Cole said, Steve asked him the other day about it, you know, nice job and everything else. He was disappointed. He said, well, maybe you'll get that shot again against him. He said, I sure hope so, and he will.
Be there Thursday. Be there.
14 punch outs for Fernandez last night. Bouncer to second. One out.
Roger Houston would say, be there.
Yeah. And we got a note from Sally O'Leary, an old teammate, I believe, of yours, Frank Carpin.
Yeah, I know.
His grandson, Jack, is on the Tuckahoe Little League Youth Baseball team, competing in the Southeast Regionals for a spot in the Little League World Series this weekend.
All right.
From Henrico, Virginia, suburb of Richmond.
Yep.
They're playing this weekend.
Yep. Frank comes down to our alumni annual business meeting / golf holiday. Frank and I were teammates. Stylish left-hander.
Oh, and 2 the count on Nolan Arenado, 22 years old, from Newport Beach, California. He played at El Toro High School. And you know what El Toro means, of course.
The bull. The Bulls, El Toro Bulls.
So you've got the bull, El Toro, Pirates third baseman. You've got a guy that went to El Toro High School, and you've got the guy that they call Baby Bull, catcher Willeen Rosario. Line drive just past Walker into center field for Arenado. A nice AT&T tweet from across the river. Thanks to that.
Summer evening portrait.
Hashtag Bucks Booth. That is quite a sight from any angle. If you're looking into the ballpark, or you're here at the ballpark looking out.
They are stuffed in here tonight. This is. It's all been large. This is. It's not too large. 10 large.
Another sellout last night. 37,500. Pirates.com. Get those tickets. One ball, one strike on Culberson.
By the way, just a footnote, Frank Carpin was a Pittsburgh Pirate in 1965.
Parrot at it again. See who else he can get, huh?
If he gets
that'll be a great one if he gets those two.
If he gets the wrong person,
I know. Yeah, that's true. He better run.
You could have a damaged Parrot.
I think he just got somebody again. So he's going after here.
It's hard for him to sneak up on somebody.
Yeah, that's true. Bouncing ball could be 2.
How easy is this?
1. And yes, double play. 1-0 Pirates as they come to bat in the bottom of the 4th at PNC Park. Good time at the ballpark tonight. 1-0 Pirates lead the Rockies. Middle game of the 3-game series. Steve Blass,
Bucko shirts.
Them your shirts.
Yeah, Bucko shirts.
Yeah. Hey, that's one. Huh?
My man. My man.
Huh.
Yeah,
right.
We'll get to Roger later. That's the old Bucko logo.
I'm guessing that those shirts we just saw might have been courtesy of the left field loonies. They had a get together earlier before the game. Tailgate action for
There's
the loonies.
The official loony shirts.
2-0 on Tabata. Infield single to start the second. Is that the president there?
Be Ross Morgan,
I believe. Mr. Morgan is in the house. 3-0.
I like to refer to him as Captain Morgan.
Okay, yes. And he likes when you refer to him as that also.
The captain.
Yep.
Were we not invited, Greg? I've got one of those official shirts.
A little shocked, actually, that we weren't told about a
Taking it
left
back.
field loony get together. And a strike. 3-1.
Captain Morgan will be disciplined appropriately.
Three and two. Tabata coming off the disabled list, got off to a nice start, was getting a share of hits, but struggled toward the end. In fact, he ended up hitting .229 in the month of July. Hits this one hard to right center field. Carrying well and gone! Jose Tabata gives the Pirates a 2-0 lead in the fourth. His third.
Get on the Tabata train. Sweet cheese on a stick. I'll tell you, it doesn't get any better than that, does it, Greg?
Another look at Tabata. His third home run of the season over the right center field wall. Tabata's first home run since May the 11th. And when he first came up as a rookie, he would hit the ball so hard to right into right center field. And people kind of assumed that as he grew up, got stronger, he would start to hit the ball out of the yard. Yeah, kiss it goodbye, as the gunner would say.
He has always been very impressive to the opposite field. Just made a lifestyle of that.
His 14th big league homer.
The 375 sign. Just beside the scoreboard, so it was just far enough to right center. If it's over to the right a little bit more, it hits against the scoreboard, but it was just to the left of that, right in that little corner.
Good catch right there. You see Tabata do that. Hit a home run to the opposite field. You hope that he embraces that approach again, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, 2. Neil Walker trying to bunt for a hit in the second. He is hit by another pitch. Add that to the list. One of the real curious numbers this season. With Neil Walker, how many times he has been hit by a pitch this season.
Right on the toe. Yep.
13 times Neil Walker has been hit by a pitch. Coming into this season, he had been hit a total of 9 times in his career. He's aboard with Nobody out for Josh Harrison. And he takes a pitch away. Harrison flied to center field, his first at bat against De La Rosa. One ball, one strike. A Tabata home run gives the Pirates a 2-0 lead. They scratched out a run last inning. That's what we're talking about. Just can't explain it. He was hit 2 times all of last year, 4 times in 2011. 3 times as a rookie in 2010. The Pirates have been hit a bunch this season. 59 times Pirates have been plunked, a league leading number. Bounced to short, and they get the double play. 6-4-3. 2 outs, brings up Liriano. Steve, the home run ball, where did it land?
Okay, we're going to give you a look here if we can. All right, you see the home run fence right along there, and then it goes up there. There's a yellow line, and that ball is right in there. If it goes to the right a little bit, it's 2 bases, but it went there, so it's 4 bases. There, all that.
Very, very nice. Ball 1 on Liriano. On top of his home run over that right center field wall. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Liriano bounced out in the second. All right, Paul, thanks much. Good news from Cincinnati and good news here in Pittsburgh. Tabata's homer. 2-zip. Pirates have out-homered their opponents this season at PNC Park 43-24. Hey, there's a good sign, huh? Good use of the root word. Charlie Blackmon at the plate. Strike on Charlie Blackmon with De La Rosa on deck. No 1-2. Liriano faced the minimum last inning. 1-2-3 second. A little bbit of trouble in the first and third innings.
Continues to do his thing, putting zeros up. When he gets you 0-2, he can make you chase with that breaking ball. Strikeout number 3. That pitch nowhere close, but when it's 0-2.
Steve, when it comes to fastball, changeup, slider, that combination from a left-hander, does he remind you of anybody in particular? Maybe even guys that you've either played with?
Andy Candy.
Oh, that's a good call.
John Candelaria. Had that big sweeping curveball, very good fastball. Not the changeup. I mean, to have 3 pitches that are over average.
Yeah, Rosa takes a strike.
There have been a lot of successful pitchers with 2 pitches, 2 quality pitches. When you've got a third, you've got a leg up.
And he tried to make the backhanded stab, so Walker takes care of De La Rosa.
And you got a pitcher running, the perfect scenario. So things going the Pirates' way so far. If it's not a pitcher, it's going to be a very tough play to get an out on. A little deflection, but they'll get it done. 1-4-3.
Even if Liriano had come up with this one cleanly, that would not compare to the one blindly he made in Chicago. Maybe one of the plays of the year.
Yep, you see one of those once a year.
Yeah. Did you see the play that J.B. Shuck of the Angels made last night by chance?
I did not.
Oh, talk about the play of the year. Leaping over the left field wall to make the catch. Let's take a look. Last night, J.B. Shuck. This is Jose Bautista of the Blue Jays. He thinks he's got a home run. That would give the Blue Jays a 3-0 lead in the 4th inning. J.B. Shuck leaps over the wall and holds on. Strike on Fowler.
So I guess you got to determine he's got the ball and then he goes in.
Yep.
You can't go in and then get the ball.
Right. Got to have it. And then his fans help him up. What a play.
That is great.
One ball, 2 strikes to count. J.B. Shuck going to be involved in a wedding down the road.
Ah, shucks.
Yeah. Very good, Steve. He's going to wind up being Mark Melanson's brother-in-law.
Oh, shucks.
Shuck is going to marry Mark Melanson's sister, and there's a strike 3 called. 1-2-3 for Francisco Liriano.
He's rolling.
Head to the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Buccos. Some spectacular images from the AGH cam tonight, and Starling Marte leads off for a third time. 1 for 2. One and one count now on Marte. Ball to the warning track in left field his first time up, and then singled off of De La Rosa and stole a bag and scored on a McCutchen double. On Marte, who's in his first full year in the major leagues, something that Clint Hurdle tries to remind us. When we ask him about, is Marte struggling a little bit the last few weeks of the season, or last few weeks before the All-Star break, going into the break, and then a stretch of games afterward. He said, well, if you look at the numbers he's put up now through the end of July, consider the fact that he's in his first full year in the big leagues, you have to be pretty impressed with the whole package. 24 years old from the Dominican Republic, played in 47 games last season, was injured much of the year. But July dipped. 3-2.
And De La Rosa has walked one batter. That was McCutchen back in the first.
And he walks Starling Marte, and that is just the 18th time this season Marte has been walked unintentionally. MLB.TV celebrates 11 years. Catch all the second half action in HD quality. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 350 mobile and connected devices. Visit MLB.TV. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Well, Marte was anxious to run in the third inning. Will he try to do the same here against De La Rosa?
Usually you do until you get caught. And again, it's half speed, half that gut feel of when you feel the pitcher has made up his mind to go to home plate and you steal an early break. Those kind of bases are stolen well before you get to second base. Basically guess right. It's that gut feel that you can take off, secure in the knowledge he's going to go to home. If he doesn't, you're out to dry.
Marte now with 32 steals on the year. Another throw over.
But Pirate fans hate to have opposing pitchers throw to first base.
So does he. He's not thrilled with it.
He's not happy at all.
That's what he thinks of those throws to first right there. That says it all. Pitch out, gets back to the backstop.
How about that?
Oh.
Caught a flyer.
A wild pitch on a pitch out.
And you know what's going through De La Rosa's mind right now? Not just the fact that he threw it away, but they made him do it. Now, oh, you made me do that. So he's not happy about, okay, you want me to throw one, and then the fact that I missed.
Yeah,
that's doubling down. Yeah.
Pretty much what's going through his mind.
Now, also the fact that Andrew waltzed into third base, don't discount this possibility if De La Rosa forgets about Starling at second. Tulowitzki trying to prevent that from happening. He's dogging him a little bit and back.
Line to right, and Marte had to wait, make sure that ball would not be caught. Marte into third on Jordy Mercer's second hit of the night.
Open it up.
Yeah, this is now once again a golden opportunity for the Pirates as the bullpen goes to work.
Nice bit of hitting with the ball down and away. Pretty decent pitcher's pitch. Goes the opposite way. John Wayner would really enjoy that at bat. No risk involved for Starling. Do the right thing, make sure it gets on the ground.
Adam Ottavino loosens in the bullpen as the pitch count is over 90.
I think that number 0 is perhaps a little ego driven. Look at me, I'm wearing number 0.
It's a number that has been worn a few times over the years in the big leagues. Rick White wore 00 for the Pirates 8 years ago. Junior Ortiz wore number 0 in 1989. And Joe Page wore 0 for the Pirates in 1954. And now looks like a pitching change is going to happen.
I'll bet he's got a pitcher that's pretty hot out there. But make no mistake, Walt Weiss runs this ball club, and he'll do what he thinks is best.
And he believes it's time for a pitching change, so that's the way it's going to be. First and third, nobody out. Bucks looking for a bunch. Pirates lead the Colorado Rockies. Game not quite as fast paced as that, Steve, but they're moving along the. I don't think that's the Clemente Bridge. That's closed. That's the 7th Street Bridge. A lot of traffic tonight.
They could read a lot of tickets there.
2-0 ball game. And Andrew McCutchen will face Adam Ottavino. Jorge De La Rosa responsible for the 2-on. New York City native Ottavino was claimed off waivers from the Cardinals April of last year.
You think he wore 0 with the Cardinals?
He did not. Ball, no strikes. And it's 2-0 on McCutchen. McCutchen has walked and doubled in a run.
We wanted to get into the bullpen. We've gotten into the bullpen early in the ball game. Let's make it count.
Check swing, foul ball. 2-1.
Andrew maybe a little frustrated that he just didn't get out of the way and take it to a 3-0 count. Trying to tie him up, stop him from extending his arms out for a full clear swing.
2-2. After those fastballs up and in, the breaking pitch from Ottavino out of Northeastern University. And he goes up and strikes out McCutchen. Ottavino comes on and strikes out Andrew McCutchen with runners at first and third and nobody out.
And so far the Pirates 0 for Ottavino.
Yeah. Pirates now 1 for 9 tonight with runners in scoring position. They look for a double play ball. And now Gabby Sanchez chases at a pitch in the dirt. Maybe
they're missing that breaking ball. 83 miles an hour and no contact yet.
McCutchen striking out on that pitch out of the zone as De La Rosa looks on. These runners are on. And the Rockies trail 2-0. Ottavino trying to bail him out. And a chopper off the tip of the glove of Tulowitzki into center field. It was either going to be a double play or an RBI, and it was the RBI, and it's 3-0 Pirates.
And it still had enough on it with that last bounce to get by Tulowitzki. And so we're kicking the can down the street. Tough kind of an in-between hop, gets into center field, and the Pirates keep it going.
Just barely nicked it.
He
fields it cleanly. That's a double play.
Almost looked like he thought he had it in the glove there.
Did he
continued on to second base?
Bit?
He might have. This is one of the better shortstops you're going to find in the big leagues.
RBI single for Gabby Sanchez. Now Tony Sanchez. Double play still in order. And a strike.
And Mercer getting over to third base. Keep it going.
Mercer at third. And there's a shot right to Tulowitzki. There they get the double play.
Hard hit, but the atom ball.
Pirates get another and lead 3-0. Pirates and Rockies. All kids 14 and under take one of these Pedro Alvarez replica Sunday alternate jerseys home, thanks to People's Natural Gas. And don't forget about the #1 Cochran Family Fun Zone on Federal Street before the game. After the game, kids can run the bases. Go to pirates.com for tickets. Kids Alvarez jerseys given away tomorrow. Tonight, the Pirates lead 3-0.
Boy, an opportunity, and still just single runs put up. But you know what they say when you start whining about the lack of offense? Pitch better. And that's what Liriano's doing. Gabby gets involved. And there's a gentleman right there who is extremely involved.
LeMahieu on base twice. One of 2 hits for the Rockies. Talking earlier about the home and road splits for some of these players. LeMahieu hits .322 at Coors Field, .219 on the road. On deck, Tulowitzki, a .380 hitter in his home yard, .260 away from Coors. And one big reason the Rockies are 31-26 at home, 21-33 on the road. Chop foul. They have also the highest ERA in the National League.
So could part of that be just the intimidation factor with opposing pitchers coming into Coors Field?
You wonder, don't you?
A little jumpy, a little tentative, a little overly careful, getting behind in the counts, having to come in. I don't know. It's never been completely explained. It happens.
The second time Liriano has ever faced the Colorado Rockies. He gave up 3 runs in 7 innings back in June of 2010, and he strikes out LeMahieu.
Nelson Liriano, I keep saying Nelson, Francisco Liriano, 15 starts. As you watch this strikeout, which is right there, just couldn't pull the trigger. But in the 15 previous starts to tonight, he gave up 5 runs in 1 game. That was the first one after the All-Star break. Earlier, 4 runs in 2 different games. So there's 3 games where he got touched up a little bit, didn't get crushed. Everything else, 3 runs or less.
I guess he really is just. We discussed this in our open about Liriano, and maybe it's just a fact. He's the ace of this staff.
In fact, let me amend that. 2 runs or less in 12 out of the 15. 2 runs or less. And he's working on continuing that streak here. I think from here on in, Greg, what you're looking for, try to get as many 7-inning starts as you possibly can. Just take the load off the bullpen if you can.
Fastball downstairs, 3-1. Liriano went 7 innings against the Cardinals on Monday night. Gave up a run on 4 hits. Keep those guys right there on that bench.
And the previous start against Washington, 7 2/3.
He has gone 7 or more in 4 of his last 5 starts. It's his last start on Monday against the Redbirds. He stays 3-2 on Tulowitzki. Francisco Liriano, longtime member of the Minnesota Twins, was traded last year to the White Sox. He missed all of the 2007 season after undergoing Tommy John surgery. In 2010, he was the American League Comeback Player of the Year when he went 14-10 with the Twins. And he walks Tulowitzki for the 2nd time. 4 walks now for Liriano. He is due up fourth in the bottom of this sixth inning. You'd love to, as Steve said, get 7 out of him. And if he could get Kadire to hit a ground ball to an infielder, keep that pitch count under 90 through 6.
Batters hit into 8 double plays.
Tonight, Kadire has struck out and flied to center. Third in the league in hitting, Michael Kadire. He is third in on-base percentage. He is second behind his teammate Carlos Gonzalez in slugging. Bounced. Fair. Throw to first base by Harrison, and he gets the out.
Good instincts by Josh there, knowing that he didn't have any action at second base. He had to back up, take the ball, giving a little ground. He had one play. It was the play to first base, and he made it.
Second out.
Kind of rolling over Gabby Sanchez's foot at first base.
Here's Willeen Rosario. Steps out, takes ball 1. Rosario has grounded out twice. He's driven in 52 runs. Hit 28 homers last year as a rookie, a Rockies record.
Try saying that fast 3 times.
No.
The Rockies, rookies, record
by Rosario.
By Rosario in the record books.
His problem really last year was defense. A lot of concern about the pass balls. 21 pass balls last year by Colorado Rockies catchers. Bouncing ball stabbed by Liriano. And on to first, Francisco. 6 innings of shutout ball. 3-0 Bucks.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the new action comedy Red 2, now playing in theaters. Let's go Bucks.
3-0. On to the bottom half of the 6th inning. You've got the colors flying across the way at the complex. Across the river, the Pirates lead 3-0, and watching that scoreboard, it's fun to the scoreboard watchers into August. The Cincinnati Reds and St. Louis Cardinals are in the 6th inning. The Reds lead at 5-3. Pirates could go back to a game and a half up. Tabata, who homered his last time up, drives this ball deep to center field and over Fowler's head. Tabata with a head toward third base, and he is going to make it easily with a triple. Jose Tabata has singled, homered, and tripled.
Have yourself a night. Ball had a lot of carry on it. Fowler has very good speed, but couldn't get to it. Had a lot of finish on this fly ball. Great try, but then he had to reverse his field, and that made the decision pretty easy for Jose. He's looking at it. He's got it in his sights, and no hesitation. Rather comfortable trip.
Now the infield in for Neil Walker, who can bat for the left side, and a swing and a miss. Facing Ottavino. Single, homer, triple for Jose Tabata.
Cycle time.
We'll be certainly watching closely that next at bat for him. Walker has sacrificed and has been hit by a pitch. Another look. Tabata watches the ball sail over Fowler.
And he gets a perfect bounce.
To the dugout. Make sure you flash the Z. 0-2 on Walker. Seems like the infield has been in a lot tonight for the Rockies.
Not expecting a lot of offense. Each run could be precious.
Bucks are 2 for 10 with men in scoring position. And now Rosario wants to get things figured out here with Ottavino.
Well, he goes out there too. I don't pay much attention to the tweets, but up on the board they had a good one. Does Liriano in between innings? Does Liriano work at the Rivers Casino because he's really dealing? And it was sent in by hashtag, a guy named Hashtag.
Very clever, a guy named Hashtag.
And that, don't you have to sign?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the hashtag. 6 innings of 2-hit shutout ball so far. Walker has 31 runs batted in this season. Couple of stints on the disabled list. Very, very, very important player to this offense. The Pirates are 17-4 this year when Neil Walker drives in a run.
Do it, number 18.
But swings and misses at the pitch in the dirt. Ottavino strikes out Neil Walker. And now, after the strikeout, making sure Tabata isn't going anywhere. Rosario throws over there. They have a chance to get out of this with Liriano due up next.
Well, they're not going to force Clint Hurdle's hand because he's going to stick with Nelson again. Francisco Liriano.
Steve, do you like the bunt here? The squeeze? Yes. They are going to squeeze. Tabata comes in toward home plate. And the Pirates lead 4-0.
Textbook stuff. It doesn't have to be a perfect bunt. Just get it on the grass.
I had to wonder if the Rockies weren't thinking along those lines. It seemed like a perfect situation to squeeze. And they did, and it was executed perfectly. Jose Tabata play a half slide. Went in hard. Bruise that knee a bit. And now it is 4-0. Sacrifice RBI squeeze for Harrison.
Just begs to be considered with Josh. Pretty good handler of the bat.
Checking with Todd Tomczyk, Pirates head trainer. 4-0 Pirates. Walt Weiss's Rockies trailing 4-0. Liriano bounces this ball foul to the right. He has grounded out and flied to left. A lot of action on the bases for the Pirates. They have squeezed out 4 runs. Toppin has been a big part of it. Homered in the 4th. And Liriano, that's just fine. He can worry about pitching. A triple by Tabata and the squeeze by Harrison. 4-0 Pirates.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
4-0 Pirates.
Well,
those guys mean business, don't they?
Serious, they got it all going on.
Jose Tabata, 3 hits. Homer will be anxious to watch his next at bat, and we have a tweet thanks to AT&T. Jeff Dudash. Liriano's ball moves so much. How is he able to get that type of movement on his pitches, Steve?
It's the way you release the ball, the way you grip it, you turn it over, you twist it, and you can do a lot of things with a baseball. You can twist it, or curveball. You can turn it over to get something fading away. I mean, you can get that movement by what you do with your wrist when you're releasing the ball, how you hold it and the way you release it. Sliders, curveballs, change-ups, circle changes.
I know you've shown this before, and the slider was your, well, I guess is the cutter, whatever you call it, cutter now, but how did you throw your slider?
Well, the fastball was like this, and I would tuck the slider in like that, and so I've created an angle already when I release the ball, and you just slide across the top of the ball when you release it. And the pure slider had a lot more speed. It was just a little bit off the fastball speed. Now, the pitch that they're calling a slider to me is more of a curveball, but it doesn't matter. It's a good breaking ball.
So again,
but just if we can just come back for a second, they talk about a curveball is this. It's creating spin. The slider is off the fastball, and it's just a cut across. It's a cut across, and a tight little, maybe 5 or 6 inch break. So you create the movement by the grip you have and the way you release it and what you do with your wrist, and that creates the movement. Whether it's and you can do it with a fastball, you can do it with a breaking ball.
And a leadoff walk of Arenado. Liriano has retired the side in order twice tonight.
But see, if you can get away with a lot of walks if you don't give up a lot of hits, because it comes down to the total number of runners that you allow to get on base, whether it's by hit or walk. So if you minimize the hits, you can walk a lot of people.
That's kind of Jeff Locke, right? Culberson has hit a ball to the warning track in center field and hit into a 4-3 double play. He was acquired from the Giants last summer for Marco Scudero. Giant sandwich pick 6 years ago.
Nothing's secure, and Clint Hurdle knows that better than anybody. So very quickly, the Pirate bullpen is busy. This is a 4-0 game. There's a good bit of baseball to be played.
In the dirt, and now it's 1-1 strike on Charlie Culberson. Arenado on at first, nobody out. Watson and Mazzara, we have not even needed to show you that shot in that camera tonight before now. Liriano has been so good.
Sights and sounds of a bullpen.
Yep. Fun to be able to take you inside the game like that. 1-1 strike.
Kind of an intimate peak.
Yep. Another throw over.
I mean, there's some cutting edge technology to bring you all that stuff from all parts of the ballpark.
A lot of work was put into that too. Provide you the sights and sounds. They're making some noise now. They want Liriano to throw another double play ball. 1-2.
And trust me, Greg, any major league pitcher, when you know, sometimes you'll run the table and pitch a complete game, but if you're doing your job, you want to give 7 innings, and sometimes you're just finding a way to get those 3 outs in that 7th inning, and you may not be on top of things, but you're trying to find ways. Okay, give me 3 more outs. Let me find 3 more outs.
So that's Liriano's mindset now.
Yep.
Grind out 3 more outs. There's one.
Locked him up. Strikeout number 6.
Six strikeouts for Francisco Liriano.
And that's a little adrenaline push when you're trying to grind out these 3 outs. You pick up that outside corner, and that's what you do. Maybe you don't have as much zip on the fastball, much break on the curveball, but you hit a spot, and then that is big time.
Culberson,
that's ringing them up.
Yeah, I like it. Blackman at the plate. Swing and a miss.
Rather harsh, but they are passionate Pirate fans.
Still fired up. They're getting ready for the next one. How are they going to do it? And then they're looking for the wave. Blackman has struck out twice. And there's a strike. And it's 0-2.
Maybe sometimes you get a little spark somewhere, somehow, a little energized. Yeah. I feel after hitting that corner, getting that first out.
They are fired up tonight. 0-2 the count. Bouncer. There's 1. There's 2.
Yeah, perfect.
And there is 7 shutout innings for Liriano.
Perfect feed to second base by the veteran.
take another look.
Liriano gets it. An awkward pick, but look at the chest-high feed to start the double play. Good stuff.
Keep it right here. Sellout crowd enjoying this Pirate lead, and take me out to the ball game at PNC Park.
Join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Tickets from full season to half and 20-game plans. There's a plan that's just right for you. Enjoy great benefits all season long. Plus, remember, deposits made now will receive 2013 postseason priority. To place your deposit, call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. Marte. Shot to third. Arenado on to first. A lot of
He should.
high fives and hugs when he got back to the dugout. And see this a lot. And this is what Ray Searage, we had him on the air the other night. He really got choked up talking about, not to be too cliche-ish, about what a family this team and this pitching staff is.
There is a romance with Pirate baseball fans with that left-hand pitcher right now. What a story the Francisco Liriano story is.
And how about this, Steve? If
She's still got the game face on. Look at that. Good.
He now has an ERA of 2.02 in 16 starts, and the Pirates 6 outs away from seeing his record go to 12-4 in his first 16 starts.
And it's tough to unwind. You can see he's still got the game face on it. You know, you come down out of that intensity, and he hasn't yet. What a job he has done. 7 shutout innings, 2 hits. Fellow starters.
A.J. Burnett tomorrow afternoon. Tonight is Liriano's night. Nissan Road ahead. Juan Nicasio, 6-5, 4.92 ERA against A.J. Burnett. Tomorrow afternoon, our Nissan Road ahead. The Pirates conclude this series against the Colorado Rockies. But the homestand continues Tuesday night. Liriano would go to 7-1 in 8 home starts. No home runs allowed, by the way. 52 innings of work at PNC Park. Six outs away from going 12-4 overall and 7-1 in his home ballpark. Down on strikes. Another side story is the job that Adam Ottavino is giving Walt Weiss. 4 strikeouts for him.
been doing a lot of it with that big sweeping breaking ball.
He struck out McCutchen with runners at first and third and no one out. And then Gabby Sanchez got that base hit past Tulowitzki. Line drive left field.
Now you've got a 4-0 lead. You've got 2 outs. You're in the bottom of the 7th. Not much happening. I'd be surprised if Andrew stays at first base. I don't think you'd have a problem with getting another run, maybe quietly. Stolen base, base hit.
They're thinking along those lines. McCutchen stole his 22nd base in the 3rd inning. Caught just 5 times. One and 0 on Gabby Sanchez. 1 for 3. Andrew McCutchen with his 2nd hit tonight on base for the 3rd time.
It looked like Andrew had thoughts of taking off there.
One ball, 1 strike count on Gabby Sanchez with McCutchen at first, 2 outs. Pirates have out hit the Rockies 9-2, leading 4-0. Time is called. Opponents are 6 for 7 this season against Ottavino in the stolen base department. Last year they were 16 out of 17. Rosario has done a decent job throwing out runners, about a 24% clip. And there he goes. It's taken for a ball, and there will be no throw. 2nd steal of the night for McCutchen. 3rd by the Pirates.
Trying to be a little too quick as Andrew gets a good jump. You combine that with the speed, and that'll have a tendency to rush a catcher.
Two count. Sanchez 1 out of 3. Usually you'd see a pinch hitter, Garrett Jones perhaps, but I think Clint Hurdle wants to stick with the solid defense. He replaces Jones at times at first base with Gabby Sanchez late in games. And it pays off, keeping Sanchez in the ball game. This will score McCutchen. Gabby Sanchez delivers a 2-out single, and the Pirates take a 5-0 lead.
That's huge. Nothing happening. 2 up, 2 down. Base hit by McCutchen. Stolen base, base hit. You add on a very important run. That's good stuff. Very good stuff.
Goes out to get it out of the zone.
Sometimes they call that rolling over on the ball. That's okay. Sometimes rolling over works. Rolling over many times, talking about taking an outside pitch and trying to pull it. They'll say many times you get a ground ball to short.
And a shot by Tony Sanchez. His first hit tonight and his 4th in the big leagues. And now it is Jose Tabata coming to the plate. And what a night for Tabata. His first at bat was an infield single. That was in the second inning on Jorge De La Rosa. And then leading off the fourth, he goes deep the other way to right center field. His first home run since May the 11th. And his last time up, over the head of Dexter Fowler, the center fielder, short hops the wall for an easy triple. And now he's a double away, and we're going to have a double switch. Last cycle, Darrell Ward to the St. Louis Cardinals in May of 2004. Walt Weiss is going to lift Ottavino, who's thrown 36 pitches. Jose Tabata will face the new pitcher coming up. Corey Dickerson comes out to play left field. This double switch. He'll be batting in the pitcher spot, which is due up first next inning. A double away from the cycle. And Darrell Ward, the last Pirate to hit for the cycle. And these players all know about it too, Steve.
Oh yeah.
Very, very well aware what they need.
It's a special thing.
And there is a strike.
Kind of bunched in the outfield. The corners are available for Jose. If he hits one down the corner and they can't find it anywhere, we'll stop at second base.
If he hits one to second, he'll run to second. 0-2. Last Pirate to hit for the cycle in Pittsburgh was Jason Kendall, May 19th, 2000, against the St. Louis Cardinals at Three Rivers. 20 different Pirates players have hit for the cycle. Not tonight, as Tabata goes down on strikes. The Bucks add another run and lead 5-0. to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Francisco Liriano, brilliant tonight. 2 hits in 7 innings and a sampling. Fastball outside. Outside again. Down and away. Right there. It has been a treat. It has been an absolute treat. And the fans loving it. He has given them something to really feel great about. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs. 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, 102 pitches. That's not all that bad for all the walks and strikeouts. I mean, it's 102 pitches is what it is, but boy, a lot of them taken up with walks and strikeouts, so pretty darn efficient. Well, just 2 hits. There's your answer to that equation.
Here's Corey Dickerson, his first at bat. Shows bunt against Tony Watson, the new Pirates pitcher. Couple of scoreless innings Wednesday against the Cardinals. Picked up the win. He's been scored upon just a couple of times his last 20 games. One and one on Corey Dickerson. Dickerson started in left field last night, hit third, and was 2 for 4 with a run. Carlos Gonzalez came on and played left field for the last couple of innings. Gonzalez has been bothered by an aggravated right middle finger. So the Pirates have not had to deal with him essentially the first 2 games. It's 1 and 2 on Corey Dickerson. Out of Meridian Community College in Mississippi, 24-year-old, drafted 3 years ago. McCargo talking with Dante Bichette. Just slapped foul. Gonzalez has spent some time on the disabled list, and he's been fighting the idea of going back on the DL. Said he can get through this, and he doesn't want to sit for 2 weeks. He is second in the league in home runs behind Pedro Alvarez, who got tonight off. 26 homers, 70 runs batted in for Cargo, and leading the league in total bases. And a bouncer over the mound. Shortstop, a bobble and a drop. And that is going to be a base hit. Jordy Mercer, if he fields it cleanly, he's got a good chance of getting Dickerson.
Tony Watson almost got this ball.
Oh, yeah, he definitely gets Dickerson if he fields it cleanly.
In between hops, got him. Every once in a while you see an infielder take a peek. Where's that runner at? And all you got to do is take a little peek and you can lose track of the baseball. And sometimes you just get caught in between hops.
So a hit for Dickerson to start the 8th. Searage once again thrilled with what he got from Liriano, who has now allowed only 8 hits total in his last 22 innings pitched.
And taking the game deep enough to minimize bullpen work.
And when you look at the list of pitchers, and still work to be done, who have won as many as a dozen games, a pretty short list. Pirates need 6 outs for him to get the W, but only Jordan Zimmerman, Adam Wainwright, Patrick Corbin, and Lance Lynn in the National League have won a dozen games. And you're talking about a guy in Liriano who didn't, again, make his first start this season until May the 11th. A.J. Burnett tomorrow. In the meantime, the Shark Tank Called into action. And a little flare into right. 2 on.
And sure, the alarm goes off a little bit, even though it's 5-0. But take a look at the base hits. A little kind of a bobble by Jordy Mercer, and then a little flare just out of the reach of Neil Walker. They're not tearing the cover off the ball, but they have action.
Get somebody else up. Looks like Brian Morris. Two on. And LeMahieu has singled, walked, and struck out looking. Last night the bullpen gave up a run in 3 2/3 innings on 6 hits. That really didn't tell the story because Justin Wilson came on and inherited a couple of runners, and he was not able to hold those two. They were charged against Cole, and then Wilson himself gave up one. And remember, Jeanmar Gomez really struggled Thursday, so to get the relievers back to putting up zeros. It's 0-2 on LeMahieu. Watson got the win. Pirates defeated the Cardinals 5-4, and a base hit by Russell Martin in the bottom of the 8th inning. Watson pitched 2 innings, a 2-hit shutout ball, and then Mark Melancon got the save. Pirates scoring single runs in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th innings to lead it 5-0. Scoring a run in 5 consecutive frames for the first time all year.
A lot of ones, 11 hits.
Picket fence approach. 1-2.
And you've got somewhat of a comfortable lead, but you want to get an out here. You don't have to get a double play. Just stop the momentum a little bit. Stand everybody up for a moment. Not let this thing get kicked down the street. All the ones. And a 5.
And an 11.
Yep.
More ones.
Yep. But a real good looking 5.
Now 2-2. And again, you sure don't want to mess around with, no matter who it is, the guy that bats in front of Tulowitzki. You have got to get a strike in there. Watson knows it. There's a chopper toward Harrison, and he ends up having to throw to first for the out. Just didn't get to him quick enough to step on the bag.
But that stops everything for the moment.
1 out. Is that runner coming over?
He has to step in front to make sure he gets to the ball quick enough. If he stands back there and the runner gets around and he waits and tries to do something fancy at third base, he may lose his opportunity at first.
Ball 1 on Tulowitzki. The All-Star shortstop walked a couple of times against Liriano and bounced out.
And you'd like to see a shutout, but the Pirates will trade a run for an out here. Playing back.
One. Tony Watson, big part of this success story that is the 2013 Pirates bullpen. strikes, 1 and 2. That was 95. A couple of options to go here against Tulowitzki. The Sioux City, Iowa native Tony Watson, who's in his second full year in the major leagues.
I'm talking about pitching, Greg. Max Scherzer won again for Detroit 3-0. He is 16-1. Pitching story in the American League.
Tigers keep on rolling.
16-1. Ouch.
One ball, 2 strikes. And to center field, coming on McCutchen, who'll have to play it on the hop. And they will score a run. It's 5-1. Tulowitzki with his 62nd ribby. Dickerson scores.
Didn't stay up long enough for Andrew to be able to get to it. Again. Down and got that. Came that close to trading a run for an out.
And now Clint Hurdle wants the right-hander to face Kadire. Dickerson started it with the infield single. After Fowler singled, LeMahieu grounded out to Tulowitzki, lines a ball to center field. Watson will give up the ball to the right-hander Brian Morris. Pirates are still leading 5-1 here in the 8th with 2 aboard for the Rockies.
Has entered the ball game from the Shark Tank. Now, in the Shark Tank, for your safety, you will find a sign that says, "Don't feed the sharks." But in front of it, there's that head. What's with the head? Well, I asked the Sharks about it, and it's the head from a Joel Hanrahan bobblehead or figure. It's been there for the last 2 seasons, and right below it, it says, "Do not touch." Again, I asked several players about it. They didn't want to talk about it. They just said it was a Hanny head. It's been there. We don't mess with it. We don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Okay. Whatever works, right?
That's scary.
Yeah, that's
a horror film. Right?
Yeah, remember?
Do not remove it, huh?
I used to see those way back when I was a kid, the pygmies, the shrunken heads.
That's a good idea, though. Do not remove it. Those guys put stuff out there. Don't touch anything. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Don't remove anything. Just leave it out there.
Yep. Respect their stuff.
Exactly right. You don't know whose stuff is whose. Just leave it alone.
That's right. They're professionals.
Yep. And now Brian Morris.
Don't try that at home.
No. Michael Kadire at the plate. And there's a pitch taken for a ball. Morris likes to cut that ball.
Like Melanson does.
Yep.
Yep. Snap off that slider.
And the chopper, that's in play. And Harrison bare hands throws, won't get him. The looked as though that ball had a good shot of going foul, but Harrison didn't want to take the chance, apparently.
It was, it was far enough away. It had a lot of English on it. There's a good chance, but we'll never know. But, boy, if you just let it go and it doesn't go foul, well, darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Close to hitting Kadyr's foot.
No man's land, yeah. It has that much English on it, and that's why I thought it might have had the. But look how far it is out on the grass. It had a chance, but it was no better than 50-50. So you got a chance. You got to try to make the play.
Well, now it's a 5-2 ball game, and 2 aboard. And here is Julian Rosario. That run charged to Watson. Strike is called.
And that's what you want to see from Brian Morris. If there's a little Achilles heel for him, it probably is control. 44 innings, 20 walks. When he throws strikes, he can get it done. Pretty much the rule for everybody, isn't it? Goes out there on the mound.
Oh, look at Sanchez go way out.
Yep.
Give up the body.
Yep, slide the whole body out and hope for the best.
That's big right there. You put runners at second and third, a base hit can make it a 1-run ball game. Tulowitzki still at second.
That's about a 45-foot breaking ball. See, it's almost out of the picture in front of home plate. Where's the ground ball?
Morris gets a lot of ground balls. Well, this one gets away, and Sanchez recovers, and now they have a chance at first, but Sanchez either didn't see him or decides not to throw it.
I think you were telling me the other night that Morris has a great percentage of ground balls and or double plays.
One of the best percentages in terms of getting the ground ball double plays.
How about taking this, and how about breaking the right way when that ball gets in the dirt? So many times you don't know where it is as a catcher, but he pounces at it. Yeah, and you can see the runner between first and second at the top of the screen, and that could have been a big item. It didn't happen.
Sanchez looked as though he didn't even look that way. So 2-1 on Rosario, the Rockies catcher. Morris's percentage in getting double plays is 25%. That's third in the National League. 2-2 on Rosario. And Rosario has put the ball on the ground 3 times tonight. Those 3 at-bats against Liriano. Liriano went 7 innings of 2-hit shutout ball. But the Rockies have scored twice here in the 8th. They have 2 on with 1 out. Rosario with 15 homers. Rex Brothers gets the most double plays, by the way. Their left-handed closer, 33%. 2-2 on Rosario. 3-2, and again, Sanchez with the block.
What's happening on a breaking ball, even a cutter, a cut fastball, hard slider, is that you just hold on to it too long. You just hold on to, and it just drives it down into the ground.
And Steve, at that point, then, as a batter, you almost have to think, especially 3-2, that's out of play now.
Yeah, but that's one of his bread and butter pitches, that cutter.
But if you're Rosario,
yep,
we probably take that out of play. You're just,
well, you're thinking fastball.
Yep,
you've got to.
Fouls it off.
Tony Sanchez is going to sleep good tonight, if he can get to sleep. Had a busy night. And that's a pretty good job by Rosario right there. That was a good looking pitch delivered by Brian.
Good look from the AGH cam at that ball hitting Sanchez's foot.
Yeah, you got the bottom part of the shin guard but
yeah, still
gets you
the foot.
Yep.
Rosario's 15 homers, second behind Jonathan Lucroy of the Brewers in terms of home runs by catchers in the National League. Another 3-2 pitch from Morris. Another foul ball.
And Rosario is working them.
Rosario has struck out 85 times. That is second on the club behind Carlos Gonzalez.
Meanwhile, back in the jungle, Cincinnati beating up on the St. Louis Cardinals 8-3. Devin Mesoraco homering twice in that game.
Shin-Soo Choo went deep as well. 3-2. Another payoff pitch. Ground ball, shortstop. There's one. And on the first, and they got the double play. Brian Morris gets the ground ball to Mercer. And they turn 2.
The Sharks are at it.
They smell blood. That killed 2. Five-2, the Pirates lead it. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning.
Big Shark.
Make sure it's a get bit. Morris got the double play after giving up the infield single to Kadire. Rosario hit into the twin killing, and now we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Neil Walker, who was 0 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch. Fouled. Oh, Arenado almost pulled that one off.
This young man can do a lot of things. Didn't do that one, but he can get it done over there. Everybody deserves a second chance.
Walker, another shot.
You know, I guess it's over on the radio side where you have the turning point or the play that made a difference. Well, that double play.
Oh, I don't think that was big.
That is the big deal
right?
for me in this ball game. Aside, you know, from Liriano's performance, which is obviously the best, but that was huge.
Morris and McCutcheon chat. Neil Walker's 3 for 9 lifetime against Wilton Lopez, the former Astro. Lopez takes a long time, goes back behind the mound. Actually, maybe they stepped out. Maybe they stepped out because of that light.
Yeah, that's a UFO.
You don't bat during a UFO sight.
No. You might have to shut this whole thing down.
Yeah. From his angle, look at this.
We shouldn't all go home right now. It's pretty scary.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Walker, Harrison in the pitcher spot, and because those 2 runs came across in the 8th inning, now it becomes a save situation. That means Mark Melanson, unless the Pirates score a run, and maybe even if they do, he would go with Mark the Shark. He does not like to use his closers. Gurley before, and his setup man Melanson, now the closer Melanson, does not like to use them during the inning, wants to start them fresh. Tulowitzki picks that one off and then throws out Neil Walker.
And that's the kind of play he is capable of making.
And he made it look easy.
That is one fine baseball play.
Hard hit ball headed up the middle.
This is smooth. No urgency. Just makes a real above average play. Spectacular play look easy. The accuracy of some of these throws when they throw it unbalanced, when they're off their balance or going the other way or don't have any balance at all, it's uncanny how accurate many of these throws across the infield are.
He stood that 360. He's blind as to where he's throwing it. All of a sudden he turns around and boom, it's off and it's right on target. Harrison 0 for 2 and pulled off the suicide squeeze. That's this one high in the air toward right. Gave that one a ride. Nearing the wall. 2 down. Join the Pirates and Pirates Charities as we stand up to cancer at PNC Park Friday, August 16th. Bucks host the D-backs at 7:05, and ticket packages are $40, and $10 of that will go toward the fight to end cancer. Plus, receive a stand up to cancer cap, cheer card, and more. And for more info, go to pirates.com/SU2C. Garrett Jones will pinch hit now for Brian Morris. Brian Morris goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up a hit, no runs. And you know, the little things you talk about in baseball that can help you win ball games. And maybe not a headliner, Steve, but I think we should tip the cap to Tony Sanchez for some of those balls that he blocked in the dirt, making sure those runners were still at first and second and keeping that double play in order. Just those little things.
Yep. He had a busy night, did a good job. He worked hard tonight.
Two and two.
And unless you're winning 13-0 or like that, you know, those subtleties are in play. 5-2 ball game. There's a lot of different directions the ball game can go on, and go. Just having that good steady work back of the plate helps.
Those Morris balls that were in the dirt that he blocked that kept Tulowitzki at second and Kadir at first. And then Rosario hit into the double play. Pirates would like to add on, but now with 2 outs. Garrett Jones at the plate. Tony Sanchez getting ready to head out for the 9th. Mark Melanson. Chop to the right side. Lopez enjoys a 1-2-3 inning. He retires all 4 Pirates he faces, and now it is on to the 9th inning. Pirates lead 5-2.
Start just outside PNC Park. 5-2 is your score here in the top of the 9th inning, and not that Mark Melanson needs to get fired up about anything when it comes to closing a game, but he is facing the team from his hometown state. That's right, he grew up in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, and attended Golden High School. He was a 4-year letterman in baseball, basketball, and a 3-year letterman in football. Basically, he could do it all when it comes to sports. And next week when you guys are out there, Robbie Innsmikowski is going to spend some time with him and kind of walk down memory lane through some of those early days of his career when it wasn't just about baseball. Should be kind of fun to hear him talk about that.
That will be fun. That'll, I'm sure, be neat for him to go back home. Wheat Ridge, a suburb of Denver. And Melanson will try and close out Game 2 of this 3-game series and get Liriano the win. Simply put.
Yeah, that's when it gets good, when you don't even have to identify it. Just raise it. Just do it.
They're still fired up. So are they. Mark Melanson tries to pick up the save. His 6th, and it is a final, so the Pirates could go a game and a half up on the Cardinals. 3 more outs, they will. Sellout crowd 38,424. It's becoming commonplace anymore in this ballpark. A sellout crowd. Strike 1. The current standings in the Central now that the Cardinals have lost. So the Bucs would go a game and a half up on them, and the Reds would stay 5.5 back.
This could be amping up to a crescendo. If you get into a 2-out situation, you got a Pirate win, you got some fireworks, you got a lot of stuff going on.
2 strikes on Nolan Arenado.
One of Mark Melanson's signatures, control. "51 innings, 7 walks." Oh, how good is this? Pretty comfortable.
1 up, 1 down. Todd Helton is going to pinch hit for the pitcher Lopez.
You think Melanson was watching Todd Helton when he was growing up, checking him out?
I bet.
A fan. Not too many people around the Denver area that weren't fans of number 17. Still are.
Ball 1. Pinch hitting this season, .364, 4 for 11. Think about Melanson. Yeah, he may have been a fan of the Rockies growing up and a fan of Todd Helton's and neat moment, sellout crowd, but you would never know it. He was as calm and cool, a matter of fact, as they get.
Yeah, and Robbie's going to have to pry a lot out of him when he takes him back home, but being back home, he might be a little more expansive. Right on the knees.
He's faced Helton once previously and walked him.
Borderline. We'll take it.
Another call. Oh, you don't see that much. That breaking ball. 2-2. Michael Melanson was 12 years old when Todd Helton debuted.
Oh, perfect fan age.
The age of 23 in Three River Stadium in 1997. Anniversary of that debut yesterday, August 2nd, 1997. And a ground ball to the shortstop. Mercer, 2 away.
All right, on your feet.
Everybody going to get up. It is sold out. There's pennant fever in the air. They're 1 out away from going a game and a half up on the Cardinals, first place in the Central.
Let's have a little fun on a Saturday night, shall we?
Charlie Blackmon at the plate. Strike 1. Listen to this at times deafening crowd when they get into the Let's Go Bucks chant. No prodding necessary from the scoreboard crew. It's all on their own. One and two, one more.
Don't you just love it that they're loving it?
Oh, that'll do it. Raise it. Raise the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, a little frosting on the cake, Josh.
Francisco Liriano is 12-4. The Pirates are a game and a half up on the Cardinals. Mark Melancon saves his 6th.
What a fine baseball game. Fine baseball game. You had a whole lot of pitching. You had a home run. You had a chance for the cycle. But when it all comes down, you got a Pirate win.
And our Honda player of the game, we could have gone either way, Liriano or Tabata. We're going to go with Tabata, who came within a double, hitting for the cycle tonight. An infield single, a homer, a triple. That home run is first since May and his 3rd of the year. Take a look at the last out.
Go get it, Josh.
He went up and got it. In 3 hours and 15 minutes, watch the reaction of the crowd. And a very matter of fact, Mark Melancon.
Day at the office.
Big night in the Berg. And lots more to talk about with Paul and Teak in the studio.